Hello.
Yes.
What's going on?
Hi, Driver Air. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing good, yeah.
I am
good.
so curious about you guys because you are, you're one of those entertainment families that like picked up from where you were from, like Colorado, I believe, and moved to LA. Did your parents just say one day, hey, I think you're really talented. Let's go to Los Angeles and see what happens? Or did you have to like beg and plead them?
Well, our oldest brother, Riker, was pretty much going to make the move to LA when he turned 18. And there's all sorts of stories that my mom heard about 18-year-olds going off to LA.
Right. She
all
saw
sorts
that
of bad
Guns N'
things.
Roses video, Welcome to the Jungle.
You
and
know, yeah, exactly. And she had already, our mom basically put us in like dance classes and like glee clubs when we were like really little.
yeah.
So she just decided to move the family out, I guess. It was pretty much mom.
At the time when we were young and we were doing that, I was always a kid that was like, what? Why am I here? Like,
Right.
honestly, I thought nothing of it and I didn't care for it. And then when we, when I actually picked up the guitars, when I was like, whoa, this is like something interesting. And that was right around the time we moved out to LA.
Did you
kept
have
going.
someone to teach you guitar? Or did you just
There
kind of
was-
pick it up and...
I kind of think we had the best way of learning anything where there wasn't like, I didn't really have like one guitar teacher, and we had very similar, I guess, like experience with music training, but we took random piano lessons at a very young age. We did a bunch of dance class, randomly took drum lessons, took like a little bit of guitar lessons, did a bunch of sports. So we just had a little bit of everything, but never like fully actually trained. Can't read music, can't do nothing, but we like learned how to learn. I think was the best skill set we learned.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. And throughout that process, we were just like totally immersed in music.
Yeah.
The whole time.
And then what about like the singing part? Was there like a little bit of that as well?
Yeah,
Just-
no. So there was, that was kind of part of like the Glee Club he was talking about. Like, it wasn't called Glee Club.
We were
but
in like it was like
yeah.
a child's choir.
kind of like
Okay.
like musical theater and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Just growing up, just kind of did all that.
And when did
everything.
it start to like click for you? Like what? Because you said like at
Yeah.
first, well, I don't know. But you know,
He's talking
then-
about ballet class.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that part.
It
Yeah.
started clicking when I picked up the guitar.
yeah,
Honestly, that's kind of when I was like, whoa, this makes a little more sense to me.
yeah. I just saw an interview recently with Bruce Springsteen, and some of it was really just fascinating to me, like how he taught himself. Like he used to slow down records, and like that's how he taught himself how to play, and also how to play particular songs. He just kind of took it piece by piece.
Yeah.
Was there like any sort of similarity there for you guys as well? Like
for sure, I'll
Yeah,
even do that
definitely.
today. Like, if we're like covering a song, and say there's a crazy guitar solo,
yeah,
I'll drag that into to Logic if that's what you use to make music.
Yeah.
And I'll slow it down, and you can just hear every note, and it's easy.
right.
So you don't necessarily have to do that if you're like get to a decent skill level, but yeah, I will. I'm
Right.
Like,
To just kind of break it down.
yeah, if I'm
Yeah.
like, say I'm like we covered this Prince song like a bunch back in the day, and when I first was like, oh, let me learn like what he plays, I just slowed down the riff, and you're like, well, that's actually like pretty simple.
Yeah.
And he just repeats the same thing over and over, but doing it faster is like, sounds sick.
Which Prince song?
It was
Let's Go Crazy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good one to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like who else were the influences? Like what did your mom play music around the house? I gotta believe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
what were you
didn't
exposed to?
they didn't play music, but they were playing,
Yeah.
clicking play on music like all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
funny enough,
time.
Bruce Springsteen was our dad's favorite artist probably of all time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of him.
Yeah.
But kind of like we mentioned earlier, we were in a lot of dance classes, so we were really exposed to like every genre you can think of
Yeah.
on a daily basis throughout the day.
Yeah.
So we have a really eclectic taste in music, which is kind of why our music, I feel like, is also eclectic.
Yeah. Are you using any of those dance skills now these days?
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Well, I've more so than Rocky.
But
Hey,
I've used the dance in my career to some extent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like to keep my dance moves a little more reserved.
Right.
He'll
You're either into it or
surprise you
you're
though.
not, right?
He'll surprise.
No, yeah.
He can boogie.
You might
They're
bust
the-
out. Yeah.
They're there. They just like they're just locked away. They don't. You know what I mean? I'm saving it for.
Wait, are they locked
when
away or are
it's
they
necessary.
suppressed? Like.
I guess it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pretty much.
What brings them out? Like what says like,
Alcohol.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, honestly, it's
Get this
it's
man a
music.
drink.
It's music.
Yeah.
Like I probably do the most dancing if I'm just like in the studio.
Yeah.
Like
Yo.
I'll have like some funny songs. I'll even like put the camera up sometimes. People don't even know this. Like I was working on this song a while back. There was a song you just did like an acoustic thing to it.
Just recently?
No, this is it's Sunshine.
Oh.
And I was like just messing with the production for like a couple of days, just like having a blast. And I would like it's like a slower song. I just like put my phone up in the studio.
Right.
And I'd literally just be like dancing by myself. And it's what brought that out is, it's the music. It's everything that was like
Dang,
that
that's
was
a good
happening
song.
with like the production and stuff.
Isn't that the coolest thing? Like you guys wake up and basically like you spend the day doing
Yeah.
that, right? Listening to music, making music. I mean, was that always the plan, or was that like did you just kind of wake up one day and go, "Wow, we're doing this"?
Yeah. It's kind of it's
A little bit of both
Yeah, it
almost.
is. It is a little both.
Have you? I mean, because I know you're also you're acting. You've been on television for a
Yeah.
long time. Did you guys ever have like sort of like a retail job or any sort of like
There
clock
was
in clock out type of thing?
I had like a slight second of it. We're at the dance studio that we went to. I like taught gymnastics for like a summer. I did that for just like quick. Like I got paid like I think $10 an hour.
Yeah.
That was like the one like day job I had for a second. I was like, I gotta get this music thing together.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, no.
You're like, no, this isn't it. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
Now about the like putting together a live show, because I mean, I don't think a lot of the the fans don't really. I'm not sure how much they kind of give thought to like what goes into that. Like, I mean, you guys spend a lot of time, putting it together as far as what you're going to perform, how it's going to be performed, lighting, all of it. I mean, are you involved with all of it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We also rely on our band members too, and our oldest brother Riker, who was in our previous band R5 as the MD, has also been the MD for the Driver era. So he'll like spend a lot of time cultivating like what songs we should play and like the order and the set list that we should play them in. And then our little brother Ryland acts as our tour manager / LD.
Okay.
So he handles a lot of the lighting. It's very much a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
a lot of our
a
sim-
family effort as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, when you guys started with R5, is that sort of like what happened? Like, I mean, it was it was fun, I'm sure, while it lasted. But then others in the other family members were like, hey, maybe we're better suited to do these type of jobs for you guys. Is that kind of how you guys formed a duo rather than continue to perform with the family?
It just slowly got to this point. Towards the end of R5, Rydell started doing a bunch of YouTube, and that you were like, oh, that's her lane. That makes sense.
Just passions were realized.
Yeah, it just kind of
different passions were realized, and our passions led us to the studio, whereas other members of the family's passions led them elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then we just tried our best to facilitate everyone's passions to hopefully work together, and in a large capacity, it's worked very well.
Yeah.
But everyone has their own thing as well.
Right. It doesn't always have to be like sort of like this big family drama. Like right.
Uh-huh.
You just kind of get to that space, and if you communicate, everybody basically can get what they want or what they want to do.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to watch you guys perform tonight, as well as thousands of people.
Yo, it's packed out
the
there.
arena looks good.
I was like,
It looks good.
dang.
It's gonna be a good night. Well, it's
Let's
always a
go.
good night. This is a
Pitbull.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's go, Pitbull.
I mean, Pitbull always brings it. I always say like it's not a party until Pitbull shows up. So we're so glad he's here tonight. But of course, we're glad that you're here tonight, and there are so many people waiting to see you guys perform. So
Cool.
It's
Heck
gonna
yeah.
be a great night. We're so glad you're here.
Well, thanks for
you.
having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having us, y'all.
Of course,
Yeah.
Driver era. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.